Hey kids, it's Brainsmasher. And I'm here to do what I do because you like it. And I hope you like it. I've got a pile of goodies that I want to tell you about. No form or function, just a bunch of cool stuff that you might be missing out in your collection. What we're going to be listening to, and this is going to, I hope I can pull this off in under the amount of time that this takes to play. This is 24 minutes long, and it is an EP by Old Graves, This Ruin Beneath Snowfall. One of the very early releases of Nature Mocked, which is a label that just cranks out the good stuff over and over and over again. Kind of like, I almost think of them as like a subsidiary of Northern Silence. There's kind of like this upward funneling of bands from Nature Mocked to Northern Silence. I didn't like this band's debut that came out shortly after this. Really couldn't put my finger on it. Just the songwriting wasn't there. I think it's a solo project out of Canada. This came out in 2015, and he did an album like a year later. Yeah, it's a solo project. He's doing a new thing called Boreal Hymn with someone else, which is pretty fantastic. But this thing is just great. Awesome songwriting. I love this so much. One of the things that, like, this would be right at home on Bindrune. Has a lot in common with stuff like kind of Agalaki, Falls of Raros, kind of Panopticon-y kind of stuff. Good stuff. Also did a split with Paths that is just fucking so good. So yeah, listen to it, find a copy of it, clean out your beard. So I don't know, this is gonna be weird, but Simon of Explosive Action, who has become like a brother to me, was playing this in the background of his video in his metal questions tag or whatever, but he didn't talk about it really whatsoever. And the whole time during his video I was entranced and distracted by the music going on over his shoulder because it was amazing. And like at the end of the video when he said what it was, I was like, oh, I have that. How convenient that I am not familiar with an album that I have in my collection. The album was Remete, not sure. This is an Australian project. The album EP, I'm not sure. Obviously I'm not super familiar with this release, but I want to say it runs, I don't fucking know. I've listened to this maybe twice or so. My fun friend named Ron gave me a copy of this about 2 years ago. It's not that old, but it's called Into Endless Night. And it's like kind of self-release, I think. This guy plays in some other projects of note. And I'm just gonna be on Metal Archives right here and tell you, 2019 is when this came out. And they're from Australia. Also plays in Forest Mysticism. There it is, yeah, Woods of Desolation is his main project. Awesome stuff. Find a copy of this. Man, super awesome. I should probably tell you what it's like. It's quite a bit like this. It's got these like really thin kind of guitar harmonies that just pull the dreadful emotions out of you and just get you right in the feel, which is something Woods of Desolation is quite known for. I'm not a fan of Woods of Desolation. It's been a long time since I heard some of their stuff, but I just found it a little too overt, a little too kind of obvious and on the nose in a way. So I don't know, maybe it's worth revisiting, but I much preferred Remete to Woods of Desolation. But that's just my weird, fickle heart. Got another pick for you. By the way, this is all just good stuff. No theme, no random grab or anything like that. But the other one I just shot was a little more death metal, and this is a lot more kind of like black metal kind of stuff. Kind of going out to my man Dave here. Some of this stuff I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, but some of it hopefully not. Here's a release by, man, Cross Vault with Spectres of Revocable Loss. This thing blew me away when this first came out. I found out about it because Horn is a project I follow greatly, and Horn has enjoyed a rising up in success over the last couple of years. And this started out as a solo project, I want to say, but he joined Crossvault just to help out with some extra instrumentation. And there are a lot of through lines there to the more modern era of Horn, but Crossvault is a lot more emotive and slow and doomy, a lot more kind of acoustic-ish style-wise. Some parallels to like Warning or 40 Watt Sun are there. A lot of clean vocals. I think, in fact, maybe all clean vocals. It's been a while since I actually like played this album to death. I kind of got sick of it over time, but luckily he put out another full length and called The All Consuming, and then an EP called Miles to Take, which are awesome. I gotta think that with the timeline of productivity that he enjoyed, he should be due for another one soon, but Horn has been pretty busy since the last time we heard from Crossvault, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but there's 3 releases for you to check out, and Spectres of Revocable Loss is just super emotive and really well written, memorable kind of stuff. Lots of just really tasteful done acoustic interludes working in and out of songs. Songs are just super mature and well written, especially for a debut. Like, I couldn't believe that this new project had just popped up out of nowhere. Got dude from Horn to play on it and just written a tremendous album. This edition, limited to 1,000 copies, came out on a subsidiary of Northern Silence, I believe, called Eyes Like Snow. I don't know if I showed you that before, but there's the 2 guys who played on it, and there's homie from Horn. Great stuff. Speaking of great, like, this is one of those things I feel like kind of a lot of older guys might be aware of or on their radar, but a lot of you newer guys need to get more acquainted with Ash Borer. Look at that nice embossed EP. This is a Profound Lore reissuing of their demo, which came out in 2007, I want to say. The original release had this drawing on it, but man, this is such a powerful release. I listened to the shit out of this after I wound up seeing them live at Gilead Fest 1. They've got this hypnotic, just amazing, powerful songwriting. I saw them live at Gilead Fest, and I did a binaural recording of their live set, which I can link down below if you're curious to hear it. But it was just such a powerful, fucking, just emotionally draining set for everybody in there. It was one of those things for me, like, a lot of traditional black metal has a lot of power and how, like, evil and just dark it can be, and those are things that I ask of bands sometimes, but this is just something so powerful and otherworldly that it kind of comes from a place of more reality than anything. It's kind of Cascadian in style, like a lot of more modern bands are doing these days, but man, these guys were so fucking good from the start. They've done a couple other releases. Cold of Ages is pretty good, but I believe this right here is where it's at for Ash Borer. And since it's kind of like, it's one of those releases where it's like a demo reissued on CD, it's kind of easy to pass over. And if you're acquainted with one of their older releases and you haven't heard this one, you might circle back around and check out their first demo. Just gonna double check and make sure. That was 2007, because it is very important. Sorry, it looks like 2009. Another release I've been wanting to throw out there to you guys. So this is Norway's Sorgsvart. Come on, get me in there. Yeah. This is an incredible solo project out of Norway, no longer active. Reminds me a lot of like Oteg, which is one of my absolute all-time favorites. But super, super folky type of folky, I don't know, paganish kind of Viking black metal. Dude had a lot of different demos, and then this one came out in 2006. And for being as modern as it is, 15 years later, honestly, it sounds like something straight out of the 90s. This one is called Fortrap fra Verden I Vakkert Selvmord. I speak a little bit of Norwegian, but not so hot on that. I was reminded how killer this stuff is. I've got the other one on LP. Dudes from Dawn Raid are big fans of this band, and I didn't understand or know at the time, or this is anti-fascist folk black metal. So, fuck yeah. Into it. Dude plays all different kinds of instruments. It's insane how much fucking their stuff that there is going on here. He's just able to play every goddamn instrument, apparently. I don't think he's ever played in any other bands, as far as I'm aware. But it's just songs that just get glued to your brain immediately. Super, super catchy and melodic, and just tons of stuff going on. A lot of fun. Sorgsvart. Check that shit out. Ah, damn. Caught her on camera too. Ugh. So, this is one of the most boring album covers. Marty, you were right. So many fucking boring album covers out there, but this album rules. This band is called Borker, not Borknagar, but Borker. And the album is called Amber. Now, tell me what you think if you can see that logo. Droop, right? This thing sounds exactly like Droop. Only not a bunch of shitheads behind the band. Amber was released by Pest Productions in 2008-11. Don't come to me for facts, folks. Come to me for bullshit. But yeah, sounds a lot like Droop. But these guys are from China, if I'm not mistaken. Just gonna... Yeah, Beijing, China. How about that? But man, if you need a sidestep of the politics going on with Droop, but miss the music, Borker fucking rules. Good stuff there. I think it sounds quite a bit like the Autumn Aurora era stuff, which was my preferred era of Droop before I got rid of all that shit because they're a bunch of scumbags. So last but not least, this takes me back. So old heads will remember mp3.com, and wow. Around the turn of the century or so, you could upload your MP3s of your music to mp3.com, and people could pay for downloads. And my good buddy got on there, Ron, and found this. I don't know how he found it. He burned it all on CD with the cover artwork and was like, "Here, check this out. It sounds like Iltjar." Put it on, and for years, it was the darkest, most sinister underground thing I had ever heard. It was amazing. And the fact that it all came from fucking mp3.com was like, huh, we are really in a new age of technology, aren't we? Because it sounds like something you would acquire tape trading, or maybe like some CDR that some rando from Poland would send you or something. But so it has this kind of underground infamy baked into it from way back in the day, but it was reissued, and I can't get this fucking jewel case open. This is a real shit show of a video. What the fuck is going on here? It was reissued by Total Holocaust out of Sweden. All 3 demos are on here. The band is called Sortsind. Finally giving you the goods. And so this is their whole discography called Vanvid. And I will rely heavily on my comparison to Iltjarn. It sounds a lot like Iltjarn with a drum machine. But there's a lot more nuance and depth going on here. But on top of all of that, and how absolutely raw and grating and nasty it is, underproduced and underground sounding, the vocals on this thing are inhuman. Absolutely unbelievable. I don't understand how the fuck someone made these sounds come out of their mouth. And it works perfectly with the style of music going on here. This thing is just a fucking underappreciated masterpiece. I just don't know why this hasn't caught on so much more than it has. There's a 2 LP, I believe, version of it. Yeah. There's my other Sorgsfart LP. And then this is the LP version put out by Blut and Eisen. Quality stuff Blut and Eisen does there. Look at that. If you're familiar at all a little bit with Knuckelslang, came out a couple of years ago on what's that label? I'm on camera, so I'm not going to be able to think of it, but Knuckelslang reminded me quite a bit of Sortsind with Vanvid. So check that out. 4-sided LP. I think I see this thing in like distro cutout bins and clearance kind of things all the time. I really don't know why this didn't catch on and more people don't know about Sortsind. Shit's amazing. Really dig that cover artwork too. So there you go, some goodies to check out, keep you tided over until the next time we reconvene and do this again. So I hope you're all doing well, and we'll see you next time.